Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki. And today, I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable. And please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Naughty. Bring you the latest and trending topics. And I vlog my life, baby. Yes. And my life has been busy, Naughty crew. But I had to get on here because closing arguments are in, baby. Okay? Did he do it? Or did he not? Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm going to drop the link just in case y'all want to come up. But it has been explosive, okay? Explosive. A lot of name dropping, a lot of false allegations. Talk about charges being dropped. They got him. Naughty crew. And I'm not being biased. I'm looking at the evidence as it's before my eyes. Like, they got him. Finally, the diddler has gotten away with so much over decades, okay? It is time to pay the piper, Brother Love, Puff, P, Diddy, whatever you want to call yourself, Puff the Magic Dragon, Diddler, whatever. That ninja changed the name of his freak off just as often as he changed his name. Okay, Naughty crew? Thumbs up this video. Make sure y'all liking the video. Get me back in the algorithm, child. You know YouTube got me on punishment, okay? But I have not had internet for most of the week. I don't know if any of you are experiencing these outages or whatever. It's been rough. I've been having to go into the office and things like that. But we back, and hopefully my connection stays strong. Only got a half an hour of work left, so I just wanted to jump on and get with you guys. So please make sure y'all are liking the video, leave comments, share. Okay? All right. And we're going to get into the recap, the breakdown, all that good stuff. All right. So I'm going to give people a chance to load up just a minute here. And I need to turn on my fan. It's hot. I don't know where this heat came from. We was in triple digits on Monday and Tuesday, and now it is 70 degrees in New Jersey. Make that make sense, Naughty crew. Thumbs up the video. Yes. All right. Now, you know your girl menopausal, perimenopausal, all that ish. Hey, Corey. Hey, Bright Eyes. Hey, grown woman. Hey, nephew. Missed you at the family barbecue, nephew. Missed you. Okay. Hey, Do-Rags. All right, all my Naughty crew pulling up. I appreciate you all being patient with me. Explosive. Okay. And to all you Diddy sympathizers, this is not the stream for you. Because I don't give a that mofo guilty, okay? The prosecution did an excellent job at proving their case, okay? We received testimony from security talking about the payoff to cover up the Intercontinental incident. At the end of the day, this is not a DV situation. They used that video of him knocking Cassie between the washer and dryer to show how he used force to force her into the freak offs. Are we clear? It's not about DV. It's not about gold digging. And Cassie And Mia, well, not Mia, I'm not going to include her, Jane Doe, Cassie and Jane Doe, they could have said yes 10 times to freak offs. On the 11th time when they said no, he was supposed to respect that. But Diddy don't like nobody telling him no. I get what I want. Y'all remember that video? I get what I want. Well, you gonna get it now, Diddler. Don't drop the soap, brother. Okay? Thumbs up the video. Thank you so much. Shout out to my hairstylist, Fave. Okay? She'll fuck your girl up with the mohawk. Okay? I gotta stay cool. All right? It's too hot to have the locks hanging. Yes. All right. It's been some explosive testimony. I believe Ye, Kanye, whatever he want to call himself. All right. That was a whole publicity stunt. He really ain't down for Diddy. Let's not forget the year before he was just calling Diddy the feds. What changed, flip-flopper? What changed? I'm going to tell you what changed, because he got his own lawsuits and he know he could be next. Hey, Dragon Majesty. Hey, Brendan. Hi. Yeah, you know he could be next. They trying to him up that Joe. Child. Tyrone Blackburn got arrested for hitting the process server with a car. So everybody's losing their rabbit ass minds. But to the diddler, as far as his defense, Diddy,
congratulations, you played yourself.
You played yourself. The defense rested their case in 10 minutes. No witnesses. The only thing they had was text messages to submit, showing that Jane Doe and Cassie were down for the freak-offs. They just lived a swinger lifestyle. Both swinky. This is not normal behavior. I don't care what nobody say, okay? Because it's not normal for a man to want to watch another man. But I'm going to tell you what the root of all it is. Not only is the diddler drunk with power, he has extreme envy. And that's why he wanted to get in between Tupac and Biggie's relationship. Jealous. Jealous. Notice how he loved to go after his enemies' girls. He got a baby with Sarah, who was Tupac's ex. He was Daphne Joy, 50 Cent baby mama. He jealous. And I believe the reason why he wanted to hire these men to watch them, his girls, is because of his lack thereof. Tootsie Roll. Tootsie. Because he ain't endowed down here. He ain't down here. He was just, that's why he wanted big black peen. Chill. Hey, James. Yes, I see y'all chiming in. You know what? The kids need to listen, because they could be next, especially the boys. They just dropped a lawsuit on Justin yesterday. A young woman is accusing him of running a train on her too. Okay? Professional banger. Yes, Jarrell. Yeah, we want to get into that. And shout out to Chronicle Speaks. Make sure y'all thumbs up in the video. She broke it down real good. Mark Agnophilia's closing argument was a joke. Big ass joke. I kind of felt when his closing argument was on, I was just like this at the end.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, And may God have mercy on your soul.
And that's because they don't have no case. So he had to lean on, oh, this is all about money. This is just a lover's quarrel. They were in love. I'm gonna let Chronicle break it down. Shout out to her. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. Here we go. Diddy's defense basically destroyed him. I don't even think they had to work for all the millions that he had to pay his team. All he needed was one lawyer. Cause they ain't do it. I bet you he mad Johnny Cochran dead, child. Okay, he is mad because the glove fits and the jury won't acquit. Thumbs up this video. Let's get into this commentary about these closing arguments. Okay, it was this a show. All right, let me let this commercial play. Unbelievable. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about the evidence that has been presented thus far. Okay, because I think the prosecution did an excellent job of proving their case. Okay, and they gave specific examples of each charge.
Closing arguments on the Diddy trial, but you know how we do. Let's first recap yesterday. So yesterday was a marathon of emotion. We had powerful storytelling from the prosecution as they delivered their closing arguments. Prosecutor Slavic painted Sean P. Diddy Combs as the leader of a criminal enterprise built on control, coercion, and abuse. She detailed how Diddy used DRUGS, threats, money, and manipulation to force women, specifically Jane, Cassie, and Mia, also Capricorn Clark, into grueling sexual acts and labor, often under the guise of relationships or employment. Now, the prosecution laid out a disturbing pattern: freak-offs filled with DRUGS, violent assaults, threats to release SEX tapes, and relentless psychological control. They argue that even when some women appeared to consent, that consent was the result of fear, grooming, or trauma bonding. Now, for a RICO conviction, the law requires...
Please like the video. Help us get in the algorithm. I know I've been away, guys, but life has been life for me. It's been back-to-back graduations, weddings, birthdays. Y'all check out my gram. I had a great birthday, had a great trip to St. Thomas, had a blast, got a chance to recharge. It was perfect. But please, can y'all just like the video? That's the free way of supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Proof that the defendant committed at least 2 predicate acts of racketeering activity within a 10-year period. According to the prosecution, the jury has been shown dozens. Now, the inner circle, the assistants, bodyguards, and staff weren't just bystanders, according to Slavic. She said that they actively enabled Diddy's behavior, booking travel, supplying DRUGS, and helping cover things up. Now, the courtroom saw photos, read text, and heard recordings that supported these claims. Diddy, who had been composed during much of the trial, appeared visibly nervous during the proceedings, rubbing his hands and shifting in his seat from side to side as the jury listened. By the end of the day, the judge dismissed the jury until the next session, which is today, when the defense will present their closing arguments, followed by rebuttals, final instructions, and jury deliberation. The message from the prosecution was clear. Diddy's empire wasn't just about music. It was built on silence, shame, and systemic abuse. So with all of that being said, now we get the closing arguments from the defense. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more.
Please go over to Chronicle Speaks and subscribe to her channel. She does great content, and she's been doing her content based off of the actual transcripts, which YouTube don't pay me enough for all of that, okay? And in reference of that, please feel free to donate to the channel, okay?
Now let's get back into it. Judge Subramanian says, before closing arguments, what about the laptop exhibits? Prosecution says, we are both still working on it. There are a lot of exhibits. Judge says, why don't we just give the laptops to the jury on Monday? Today, we have the defense, the rebuttal, and my charge. Judge continues, so deliberations will start Monday. I sent the parties my charge and the verdict form. Garagos says, may I confer with Agnifilo? Of course, says Judge. Garagos continues, about Mia. Mr. Agnifilo would like to show exhibit 1727 on an easel. We redacted her name so that no one in the gallery can see her face. The government wants to put a post-it note over the face. Judge says, how are you to place it? Test it, labs. Garagos says, the public can't see it, so it should be fine. Judge says, that's fine. Let's bring in the jury. After a time of waiting, the courtroom deputy says, there's a juror with transit issues. We are inquiring. Judge says, okay, let's wait. Okay, it's 9:26. Judge says, so we have all of our jurors. We'll start in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Combs has been taken back to his holding cell by the U.S. Marshals. He will be brought back in before the jurors are brought in. At 9:28, the judge says, all rise. The jurors then enter. Mr. Agnifilo, are you prepared to proceed with the defense's closing? Mr. Agnifilo says, there's a trial set forth by text messages. Then there's a trial set forth out of the prosecutor's mouth. They are different. The trial from the evidence, what is it? It's personal use. It's DRUGS. That's all it is. That and swingers, a lifestyle. But the prosecutors have charged one of the most serious statutes on the book. They call threesomes in DRUGS RICO. I want to thank you for your service to our country. I would love to speak to you for days, but it's Friday. I am trying to be efficient. I have to cover a lot of ground, but I'll focus on the most important part. Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a self-made Black entrepreneur. He has built real businesses that are so outstanding that others create partnerships with them. We heard that from Derek Ferguson. The assistants were moved by Sean Combs. It was like Harvard Business School. He pushed me hard, they said. Did they always like him? No, let's not even go there.
All right, so the defense is trying to paint him as this Black entrepreneur that created so many opportunities, and he was very diverse in who he hired. He was doing DEI before it was a thing. So I mean, this is what he got paid for. This is what they got paid for. Okay, I feel like Diddy wasted his damn money. Okay.
Did they like him? No, but they loved him, even the ones who are suing him. Mia, I'm not going to call her Mia because that's not her name. I'm going to call her the witness who was testifying as Mia. Remember Derek Ferguson from the Bronx? He said there were not many hiring people like me from the Bronx. There's something more to these businesses. Sometimes the real things in life are hard. No one remembers the easy days. These people grew. It was real. It was diversity. These days, DEI, Combs was doing that at 24. The prosecutors call his business racketeering. That's the fake trial. What happens? He gets arrested. They destroy his property. They have an SRT, special response team. They are clandestine. Can't follow with a camera. Rampant. They ran. His kids were there. And here, 6 of 7 in the second row. The 7th is an infant. This is who he is.
I graduated with a bachelor's in pastoral theology, and I work with the position here that I'm at as an assistant pastor. I got exposed to porn 14 or 15, I think. My excuse was, I'm going to stop, because it was always, I'm going to quit. The big lie the devil sold me was, you'll be able to stop this when you're older. She had no idea. Nobody in church knew. Nobody, it's just me. The thought is, okay, if I tell people that I have this problem, then everything I've been doing up to this point to be a pastor, I'm going to be told I can't. Almost less than 2 months later, I joined the program. This whole time, I'm doing this quietly, working the program. I came to her and I asked her, I said, have you noticed a difference in me? Yeah, I definitely see a difference in you. Why? I said, I'm just curious. I said, I've been working a leadership program.
This man takes care of people. Jane came here and testified against him. Today, she's in a house he's paying for. And yes, they found it, boxes of Astroglide, taken off the streets, and they got baby oil and the personal use DRUGS. America is safer. 5 Valium pills. When you're doing work like this, we can't photograph you.
Okay, I think with the prosecution closing argument, one of the key statements she made was the Astroglide crossed state lines. I was on the floor. Astroglide crossed state lines, Jill. At this point, Diddy better hope they don't come for him internationally, because he was transporting them internationally.
That's the evidence. What do? They wrap yellow crime scene tape, figuratively, around his bedroom, around the hotel rooms he goes to with his girlfriends. That's a lot of crime scene tape.
I see your comment about I'll be sure. I'm done with him. Where was your testimony, sir? I thought you was talking to the feds. I thought Albie Shore was talking to the feds. He full of bull swinky. Thumbs up this video.
Crime scene is your private sex life. No one called 911. They called civil plaintiffs' lawyers. This case is about money. Cassie Ventura sued Sean Combs for $30 million because he has $30 million. If he doesn't have it, no civil lawsuit, no criminal case. This case is about 5 minutes. It's about love.
KK too. Where you at, KK? Why you ain't testify for your boy? Why you ain't? If you so innocent, I believe they about to Ghislaine Maxwell KK. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat if y'all believe that's gonna happen for the 2, and she gonna fall right with him, idiot.
Love has been said over 800 times in this trial. The domestic violence, we own it. We did not ask Ms. Ventura about being hit, kicked, or dragged. We didn't cross Jane about it either. But domestic violence is not charged. If he was charged with that, he would have pled guilty. He did that. But he did not do racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. He did not kidnap or bribe anyone. The first person to say something about domestic violence was Cassie Ventura.
Wait a minute. I believe Capricorn Clark, he definitely kidnapped her. I believe Cassie, he definitely kidnapped her. He was holding her in hotel rooms after he beat on her, so her wounds can heal. The security was icing her wounds. Disgusting.
She made an Instagram post. She said, thank you for your love and support. The domestic violence is the issue. She could have said anything on her phone or her tablet. She could have said this was about sex trafficking. She didn't say that. She said it was about domestic violence. Believe her. Believe Cassie when she says domestic violence is the issue. In that moment, watching that video, imagine that. To see their relationship is to see everything that racketeering is not. I'm not going to go through a lot of text messages or charts or screen time. It's a terrible thing. Screen time, I'm told, I'm going to have to tell the story of this case. They fell in love. Cassie had a boyfriend of 3 years, 10 years older than her, but she meets Combs and they are off to the races. Mr. Combs rents a boat and they make love for the first time. They are in an intense relationship for 11 years. Cassie is smart. She flat won. She's got $30 million and he's in jail. You probably know that. The nice looking men behind him, they are the U.S. Marshals. They keep him safe. Cassie has won 100-0. They tell you she's a victim. This is a great modern day love story. They didn't write these in the past because they didn't have these problems. He had 6 kids at the time. It's a relationship based on love. Cassie said she was young and insanely jealous. If you're in the jury room and you don't want to go home, read their text messages at the time of the breakup. You will cry.
This is the video where he's like, I will get what I want. I always get what I want. Thumbs up this video. Naughty Crew, don't ever trust a man that cannot close his mouth.
They were selfless with each other. When it wasn't going to work for the original sin of the relationship, then came Gina. Gina wouldn't come here, but she's out there. Then Kim Porter, she passed away, and Mr. Combs said what he said. For Cassie, it was the last straw. She made an adult choice and left, like she always could leave. What happened? Nothing. Pick a message from 2018 and read it.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI.
If racketeering conspiracy had an opposite, it would be their relationship. They were their best selves when it came to SEX. There were times that Sean Combs was proud. On SEX, they found each other. It's a beautiful thing. You won't find a single text where she says, I didn't like that SEX. It was an 11-year relationship. The issues were jealousy and other women, but they match up when it comes to SEX. Swingers. She's a woman who loves SEX, and it's beautiful. She is unafraid. Let's talk about Kid Cudi. He came in here. I'm not meaning to be judgy, but
that is so true. Let me tell you, they said this morning Diddy had his team, his legal team in huddle. And just like he would tell Cassie and Jane Doe, let's finish up strong. They finished strong, all right. Diddy shaking in his boots. He gonna wish he would have took that deal, baby.
Cudi came in here and says, Cassie played me. She did. She played them both. Not everyone can do that. And what does Cassie do? She goes for it. She lied to Combs that she had a relationship with another singer-songwriter under his nose. She wasn't afraid of him. Was she going to tell him? No. Cassie is keeping it gangster. Not gangster. Cassie's like, I'm going to lie to them both. Cassie gets a burner phone. Fine.
Wait a minute. And last I checked, like, I'm so tired of the double standards. Okay. Diddy could have a harem of women. He could have a woman in every state. But the moment Cassie want to step out, all hell breaks loose, and he want to propel people and things like that. The prosecution was ill today, because they was talking about his defense was talking about Diddy is hand over fist. Y'all gonna see prosecutors like only time he was hand over fist was with his girlfriends. But when it came to men, he always wanted to bring out the papow. Yes, baby. A whole bitch ass nigga, if you ask me.
Finally, that's what you expect in a racketeering case. She's the one who got the burner phone. The morning on December 22nd, 2021, the whole thing with Cudi and all of that, she had 2 hotel rooms. Whoa, a room for the burner. Baby, if this is the closing argument, Diddy is doomed. She's not going to tell nobody nothing. Let's talk about racketeering. The judge is going to give a legal charge later today, assuming the first one is 2004 kidnapping of Capricorn Clark. Let's talk about her. She said, I wanted my life back. Capricorn Clark's parents passed away when she was young. I don't mean any disrespect. She told you. I'm happy she did. Others didn't tell you about their parents. She moved to the Bronx and she meets Sean Combs. She goes super platonic. What? I think she means she didn't want it to be platonic. She's out there. You can see it. She says, you know, I had the biggest crush on you. I think we misused our dope chemistry. Now, if she's kidnapped, why does she want to go back and work for him? She's getting her nails done with Mike B. He's going to be mad at me, she says. And she calls 1440 and said, lock everyone in. She got a lie detector and Mike B did too. How was she kidnapped if she went home every day? Is the government alleging 5 separate kidnappings? Polly drove her home, door-to-door kidnapping. The Southern District of New York is charging this as kidnapping. He laughs. It's not kidnapping. You guys come in here day after day.
So as you can see, he is trying to poke fun at the defense's or at the prosecution's case or whatever. But if you're holding someone against their will, that is considered kidnapping. Was Capricorn dumb for letting that happen and not going to police? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Long days, and you come back the next day. Have you been kidnapped? No. At the time, Sean Combs is in Raisin in the Sun. He's doing vote or die. He could care less about this. The lie detector test was former FBI. You guys have the right to say, huh? That sounds like a stretch. Why charge it as kidnapping? Come to whatever answer you think is the right answer. Capricorn leaves for a year. She makes more money than she comes back. Next, Sean and Cassie are having a freak off. It's December 22nd, 2011. Cassie has 2 hotel rooms. Combs looks at her non-burner phone, sees messages with CC about Cudi, maybe called Scott in the text. Something about hiking. Now, why would he have a gun? He goes to get Capricorn. Why? Because she would do anything with him. Go to the moon. He didn't need a gun. He didn't have a gun. Cuddy said Cassie told him that she had already told Combs. Are you following me? Sean Combs has nothing to gain by having a gun and everything to lose. He's already Sean Combs. Capricorn would love to have stayed employed, but if he pulled a gun on her, no way. It didn't happen. No gun. Cuddy didn't say that Capricorn said Combs had a gun because there was no gun. Working backwards. Cuddy didn't tell the police about a gun. It was written up as a trespass. That's all. There's no gun. Capricorn's story falls apart. Then there was this car chase.
This AI tool will create a stunning ebook direct from your
Up next to this Escalade, the witness said, there was no car chase. The judge is going to say you can disregard any witness if you find something not credible. If you see fit, it's all you need. Seems like everything is possible with Capricorn Clark. I asked her. She said, I came up there with Puff. I went to run away. I'm afraid of mountain lions. Mountain lions? I'm not saying they are not scary, but if you were kidnapped with a gun, nah. She doesn't want to say I went there by my own volition. I'm not saying Sean Combs didn't go there. He wanted to fight him. Fine. Motherfucking Combs is not a coward. Shit. Ooh, I'm sorry I broke character, y'all. I wasn't expecting to read that. He's ready to fight at the risk of being sexist. They are men. They fight. We're going to have a good old-fashioned 8 a.m. Hollywood Hills John Wayne fight. The Porsche, not his style. There's no evidence. Who else would do it? No evidence. Burning a car is cowardice. Be a man and fight him. What's in the car? A Molotov cocktail. Why not show you the glove? I am suggesting something. Yes, that the investigation stunk. It's terrible. 2 fingerprints. What happened? Well, I don't know. You're going to determine his fate on arson? On this? The DNA was consistent with the female contributor. That witness was not helpful. If it had come back consistent with Combs, they would have bragged about it. Investigator Jimenez never followed up. He tried to find Cassie. Jimenez said Capricorn's brother obstructed him. They fought. I'm not saying Capricorn did it or Cassie did it. We're not here to solve the world's problems. Cassie's father didn't call him back. The witness was mad. Draw your own conclusion. Here's an email. Why is she calling him Sean Puffy Combs? For some proof later, she doesn't mention any car. Forget it. Let's turn to the London hotel. If you want to go to someone's house, it's not kidnapping. It's unfair. Cassie is public too. Remember, Cassie also didn't want the tape out. She had a movie coming out. Let's go back to see what she said about the hotel staff maybe leaking the footage. They were worried about publicity, not a misdemeanor. Guess what happened?
Diddy was also worried too. Diddy was worried that it will ruin his career. Why wouldn't Cassie think the same way? Like, his defense sucks.
It was sold. The police were nowhere near the situation. Is Combs acting like a fool? Calling Cassie and saying the police are about to arrest him? She is freezing him out, as she should. He's just trying to get her attention. He leaves, goes to her apartment. He's banging on her door, maybe with a hammer. Carrie Morgan said that's why the police came. A neighbor called. The Intercontinental has no police, period. So he cannot be guilty of bribery under California law, as the judge will tell you. And when Mia, the witness who testified as Mia, said she was out of Skrilla money, they should...
Excuse me. What do you mean? He can't get account for bribery. I mean, he had KK harassing and tracking down the video, got the security to come to wherever he was, made him sign an NDA before he even handed over the money. Sounds like bribery to me. Sounds like hush money to me. Thumbs up the video. Yay.
Should have told you. Sean Combs was concerned about Cassie suing him. He was not aware of any federal investigation, if there was one, so it's not obstruction. He's trying to starve off a lawsuit, and when it comes to Jane, he still might. Should we break here, says the judge? This will be fine, says Ignifilo. Now we go to break. So because you're not supposed to object or interrupt during the closing arguments, prosecutor Comey waited until the break, and she says, I didn't want to object, but he asked the jury to ask why the prosecutors charged as they did. We need a curative instruction. After the break, he told the jurors that the Intercontinental was a misdemeanor. Curative instruction. He told the jury Mr. Combs is charged with arson. That is not the case. It is a RICO predicate. Judge says, Mr. Ignifilo. Ignifilo says, I was going to get to RICO on the rest. It's fair comment. Judge says, you said, why charge a kidnapping?
Okay. So the prosecution, because they had an agreement not to do any objections during closing arguments. And the prosecution pointed out some lies that Ignifilo put out there, some false information. And let me tell you something, the prosecution is on it. She's not playing with Diddy and his team. Diddy's team is just as delulu as him. They just as narcissistic and arrogant as him, but they just doing their job, Naughty Crew. Thumbs up the video. Oops.
You can ask that. Ignifilo says, I think I'm allowed to be sarcastic. That's what I was doing there. Judge says, in the Intercontinental video, Ignifilo says, it's a state matter, not federal. It's fair comment. Judge says, can the government propose? Ms. Comey says, yes, after the break. Now we're on a real break. Okay, now at 11:35, the judge says, do you have proposed language? Comey says, yes. Ms. Steiner has emailed the defense our proposed curative instructions. Judge says, Mr. Ignifilo, those 3 were grossly improper. Just to be blunt about it, the jury is not to speculate about the charge. Judge says, I will tell them it would be improper for you to consider that. You are to disregard those comments. Shapiro said, we did not object yesterday since you called out Mr. Ignifilo. Judge says, I didn't call out anything. There was an objection. Woo, child, a ghetto. Shapiro said, Miss Slavic told the jury yesterday that there might be guns at the freak-off. There's no evidence of that. It was outrageous. No one is doing anything improper. Judge says you made no record yesterday. Here, I'm not giving multiple instructions, just one. Shapiro said, we asked that you do that on our end. Not now. It would suggest Mr. Ignifilo did something improper. Comey says, I needed it now. Judge says, let's get our jury in. Sean Combs leans over and whispers to Ignifilo, who takes a note. They told y'all about writing them notes yesterday. Now the judge says, all rise, and the jurors enter. Now before the break, the judge says, it was suggested you should consider why this was charged. This is not proper. I will be instructing you on the law. Mr. Ignifilo says, now we'll talk about Mia. She loved working for Mr. Combs. This is not forced labor. Remember the birthday.
Wait a minute. Mia loved working for Mr. Combs. I beg to differ. Hey, Jarrell. Hey, Donald. Thank you for joining. I believe he did everything. There's not going to be proved in this ABS trail waste of taxpayers' money. I think they proved
that video we showed you. She was bubbly, popping. That's the real her. You are free to conclude she put on an act here. If Mr. Combs felt it was improper, he would not be threatening to tell Cassie if it was consensual.
I take this little 2-ounce shot every single day. It is.
She is not telling the truth. There was no unwanted sexual conduct. Mia's feelings were not platonic. Mr. Steele questioned her about those wonderful pictures and slogans. Effusive, not just a job. This is a demonstrative. You can't just take it into the jury room. Consider the scrapbook she made. I'm going to read it to you. Happy 45th birthday, Puff. This is from 1991 to 1999. I hope it stirs up nostalgic feelings. How great you've become. She loved you. You can't fake that. That's real. Don't lose sight of that. It's not just business. He gives people a home. Look at this picture. Think of a word that comes to your mind. Joy. There's KK, D-Rock, Fahim. Now he's showing photos of the staff. He created a remarkably special place. He moved people in.
Showing photos of the staff, but not near one of them came to testify for the defense. Not even one. Not D-Rock. Nobody. Not his kids. Not his mama, who is hemmed up. Well, two of the boys are hemmed up in lawsuits. And then Janice Combs got her own lawsuit.
In their hearts and souls. When Mia is told she'd be fired, that she is going to leave the special place, Mia says, my life is over. KK says, oh my God, what the F, Mia? That's not funny. Racketeering co-conspirator KK writes, Mia, answer your phone or I'm going to call your parents. The last thing she wanted to do was leave, and it's forced labor. Let's turn to DRUG distribution. The U.S. said personal use is a distraction. Brendan Paul said these were personal use DRUGs. He said he forgot to take the cocaine out the bag. He said, I got the best lawyers in the world and my charges were dismissed. That's what he said. Sean Combs was not selling DRUGs. Cassie told you he was a DRUG addict. How was he supposed to get them? Grow his own Xanax? Did he have DRUGs? Yes, they found it in his house. Was he using his enterprise to distribute DRUGs? No, you're going to have to think about this. Didn't Mia go work for McDonald's?
I disagree. Yes, he was. I.e. Brendan Paul, when he got arrested at the airport the day of the raids. What did he have on him? The Tootsie. Thumbs up the video. So the defense is just straight up lying. Okay? They don't have anything factual to stand on. I feel like the whole defense was just completely weak. I don't care. I mean, did they poke holes with certain witnesses? Absolutely. But they were poking holes at things that happened like 2 decades ago and everybody was on rugs. Thumbs up the video. Ciao. Bye.
Anna, that's how people use personal assistants. I don't expect we're going to see Beyonce and CBS. The assistants buy Astroglide. It's not what the company is doing. It's not a racketeering act. Okay, so let's talk about RICO. There's no evidence of possession with intent to distribute DRUGs. David James said he's in Central Pay. He asked to get an 8-ball of cocaine. I asked him, anything to do with Sean Combs? He said no. He kept it in front of him. Why would he hide it? It's people in creative fields doing what people in creative fields do. It's not racketeering. I'm going to talk about Cassie. Can you SEX traffic your girlfriend? Maybe, if you push them into prostitution, but he's not making money from it. Jane has some texts. They are very anti-hotel night. Cassie, she doesn't. People are in love. People are having SEX. Let's say your partner wants to do something and you don't. Where does that land? Cassie wanted this, including to be close. It's like this. My wife is from LA and I hated LA. Now I love LA. Sorry, that's how it happens. Cassie, she is a beautiful, sexy person. She was with Michael B. Jordan, like the most handsome man in the world. She's not messing around. Cassie is not clutching her pearl. Did he just say what I think he said? I'm starting to think Ignifilo might have a black chick on the side. That's how I am intimate with the man I love. You could come to love that. You want to be close. Yesterday, they said some she might have wanted. Oh, they said can. Daniel Phillips in Intercontinental. If she likes 75 of them, can number 76 be SEX trafficking? Talk about going 0 to 60. Nothing said to him she doesn't want to even do these again. Mr. Donaldson cross-examined Daniel Phillips. Let's look at the text. Sean asked, are you horny? She says yes. Talk about fantasies. This is their lifestyle. She writes, I'm not going to do many of these. My mother would. She writes, my PUSSY is so hot. They are doing this together. I'm going to play part of a video. In this intercontinental video, it's more than likely it's not from Combs' phone. Here she is. I'm not going to show you him throwing her down. You've already seen it. I'm not hiding it from you. Now there is a phone, and there now a well-known man is sitting in his towel and socks. Looks like Cassie is saying, you're being a fool. Go back to the room. Look at it. It looks like she's saying, go back to the effing room. There's nothing scary in the room. Then 5 days later, he texts, I'm sorry. She replies, laugh out loud. I was just listening to sorry. They are obviously getting over it. Cassie writes to Sean, how do I know if the DRUGS are going to be bad or you'll drink too much? This is about the hotel. Cassie told you sometimes she hit him first. They are in this together. Okay. She says that there's an RAPE. It did not happen. It is not charged. She was asked and said he RAPED'd me, but there wasn't a lot of lead up. Maybe it didn't happen. Cassie wrote to Combs. Cassie is with her current husband. Something happened. She wrote, I told myself I didn't want anything to happen, but
Ladies, listen up. The video showing the pink salt trick that melts belly fat while you sleep has
I'm not tripping on it. I know you aren't either. She gets a FaceTime call. Boogie Backbone is her husband. Combs wrote, you act like a broken-hearted angel. You need to start living your life. Cassie says, I don't know who that was. I was saying thank you for last night and I enjoyed it. The oldest trick. I don't know how Alex found out, but she says RAPE. There's no evidence of RAPE. She had consensual sex with him after. I have to defend this. It is in the case, but it is not charged. Cassie was asked, what kind of pain did Sean put you through? She spoke about his own personal pain, his shame. It's beautiful. She said he felt pain, and most painful to me was caring about his shame. Jane says almost the same thing.
I just want to speak to the point of, because he's trying to make this point like, oh, Cassie said he RAPE her. And then afterwards, she did say that she went back to him. She had an encounter with him one other time after that. And they asked her, like, why did you do this? She's like, I was in a 10-year relationship with him. Like, there's no rhyme or reasons, but it's plenty of situations with married couples where the husband may grape the wife and she stays. I'll just leave you with that example.
My partner was trusting me in a very vulnerable moment. I wanted to go along. If I can be my partner's escape.
Matter of fact, I'll take you to the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? That scene where Ike grates her in the studio booth. Right. Okay.
And says, I am getting vulnerable with you in the hotel rooms. I don't want to see young Miami on a bigger yacht with you. That's not sex trafficking. If you get deep into this deep self, this is not sex trafficking. It's people in love being real. Your Honor, you were, judge says, I was going to go to 1. If now, he says, I was going to turn to Jane. We can break. Judge says, okay, 1:45. The jury leaves. I think I have an hour left. Miss Comey, the judge says, so I'll charge it 4 or even 5. So while they're on lunch break, there is drama happening outside. A man began suddenly convulsing and collapsed outside the courthouse during the lunch break, just as Sean Combs' family was filing out. Several officers rushed to assist the man, who was seen earlier in the press area with camera equipment. A woman named Jessica Seitz in a bright yellow Britney Spears shirt identified herself as a nurse and tried to help too. As this unfolded, Combs' sons, Justin and Quincy and Christian, exited the courthouse briefly, looking over at the distressed man before climbing into black vans. A confusing split scene ensued as a mob of spectators shoved phone cameras up to the Combs family vehicle while the stricken man lay a few feet away. He appeared to regain consciousness after about 10 minutes and is being loaded into an ambulance. Okay, and at 1:54, they are back. Judge says, I thought about it, and it makes more sense for me to charge the jury on Monday morning. Otherwise, it will be too late. With that being said, let's bring the jury back out. The jury re-enters. Welcome back, says the judge. You may proceed. Ignifilo says there was a suggestion Cassie didn't get the same amount of promotion as others on Bad Boy. I think Capricorn Clark is an important witness, but she did say that Cassie got the lion's share. Either side played the videos for the witness, but Cassie's videos were on her devices.
All right, the defense, the whole trial, when Cassie was on the stand, they tried to attack her career, her talent. Now, does she have the strongest vocals? I never thought Cassie had the strongest vocals. But she did get a hit. She did get a hit, but she was not a live performer. But Cassie offset that by saying, like, I was young in the game. Like, I was trying to figure it out. Like, I remind you of the 106 in Park live performance where she sounded horrible, but it sounded like she didn't have any chance to do like a sound check and stuff like that. Everything was off about that performance.
She said the devices were damaged, but the experts were able to open it. I don't know what role these videos played in her life, but she didn't delete them. In the video, the hotel rooms are beautiful. The music is great, Usher and whatnot. You were never meant to see the videos. Let's be honest. Sean Combs was never going to release these videos. He might have said it, but no way. No way. Cassie is eating watermelon. They are listening to music. These are beautiful nights. The 2 escorts, the Punisher, I call him, he got it from basketball on West 4th Street. They thought Cassie was really into them. They were naive. I don't think this is the only man making homemade PORN in America. I think it's a pretty popular thing these days. Jane, she wants to post things on Instagram, I guess. podcast. That's what she gets into. I think she loves Sean Combs. You guys know who the father of her child is. You know who she was with in Vegas. She is comfortable with this. The government is not saying every hotel night is SEX trafficking. They isolated September 2023. Jealousy over a yacht. I get it. Sometimes Jane didn't like the guys. She said one smell. Then the guy is sent back. 3187. The escort gets sent packing. He's a bum, but they still paid. No SEX, but got paid. Paying for time. Yesterday, they just dismissed it, but that's what happened. Now, Jane, she wanted it to happen. She called her guy Cabral. She liked Cabral. She wrote, muy caliente.
I hit an all-time low, man. I had this lead ball in my stomach, and the only relief that I was able to get.
Then there's a sobriety party. Jane is angry over Gina. And then she said she regretted it, resented it, but she agreed to it. Unfortunately, she admitted to it. She actually said she regretted it, but she agreed. That's it. We can be done with it. The house, Jane had the worst lawyers in the world. Her low child support from her child's father, in my opinion, Mr. Combs did the right thing. Paying. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. He's paying for the house for a child that's not his responsibility. They watch PORN. Jane got him a mobile TV to watch it, so he'd make less PORN, she said. I'm not sure that's how it works. The photos, Combs has a big pour of wine, strawberries in there, but it's big. Not like a fancy restaurant. Half an hour later, something in it.
All right, so this is Agnifilo trying to glamorize these hotel nights and freak off nights in the system. Nice try, but weak sauce.
Inexplicable happened. She slams his head into the counter, calls him a PEDO. The woman Allie he was dealing with that made Jane jealous, she was of age. Jane said Combs kicked her doors in, but he didn't hit her. I'm not saying he should, but he didn't. Here's what we do know. A text from Jonathan Perez says they are fighting. 10:14, he says, just normal, being jealous. PD says, don't come, all good. Now Jane changes into another dress. I don't know. No sweat. She said she hides behind a wall for 2 hours. I submit it's just not possible. She's just wrong or lying. I don't know. She comes back. Combs is in the street. No violence. Okay, it looks like she was hit twice. Doesn't look like he hauled off, nor that he dragged her. You know what this is? She was documenting her injuries. As a domestic violence survivor myself, this man is horrible. Let's talk about Anton. She sees him in Vegas with...
Look, at the end of the day, like, Jane kicked it off, the DV, by trying to hit Diddy or whatever, but he could have walked away, but no, he stayed. He beat her down and arranged freak off. And I'm just like, Diddy is just like Whitney.
I don't fight. I don't wrestle. I beat bitches up.
Period.
You know who? A rapper of some prominence, and she is watching Anton have SEX. She asks, what did you do? She says, I showed my breasts. Why? It sounds like spring break. Then the rapper goes up to her with a question about the swinger lifestyle, and she gives them Carol's phone number. The story doesn't make sense. Let's say something else happened in Vegas, and then it's the same Anton who comes to her house. Coincidence? The one who shows up at her house is Anton. What she says makes no sense. Anton is a PORN star. He has SEX. Jane knows there's an investigation. Did she instigate this? Her story makes no sense. Why was she so persistently violent? She says, I didn't want to do it, but she let Anton in. I submit they are trying to get past it. Oral SEX only. At the end of the day, the story has so many holes in it. You could say she prompted it. She maybe wants something in her pocket. I'm going to have something. Maybe I'll never use it. Why the provoke extreme violence? She doesn't explain it. You guys are here because you have lived full lives. You were chosen, and they chose only 2 of the escorts, the Punisher and Daniel Phillips. They could have given others immunity. Neither of the 2 admit being a prostitute. They're witnesses. If you get paid when you didn't have SEX, you're getting paid for your time. In Sean Combs' mind, this is legal. It would be different if a witness said, I went and I had SEX, and there was a negotiation for it with Sean Combs.
So they are referencing a text exchange between Diddy and Cowboys and Angels, which was the service that he used to hire the prostitutes, where Cowboys and Angels reached out to Diddy and said, hey, you need to settle up your bill. You're about $600 short. And then Diddy's like, oh, I'm a regular, and he couldn't even perform. And the woman came back and said, well, we're not sending them out to perform. Like, you're paying them for their time. Like, he even tried to lowball them, and he talk about talk to me nice. Like, get the fuck out of here. That nigga think he the shit.
I assume in every PORN movie, the actors got paid to have SEX. And yes, it's legal, so he thinks it's legal. Okay, let's talk racketeering. Here's page 14 of the charge. The enterprise. The group must have an organization.
Prostitution is only legal in one place, and that is in Nevada, Las Vegas. And the diddler should have just went to the Bunny Ranch, just like Lamar Odom, okay, and freaked off there because there was willing participants and it's legal. And he would not have to transport them across straight lines, dummy.
Hear this. Only Sean Combs is charged here. No one testified. I was part of a racketeering enterprise. This is the greatest divide between the evidence in this trial and what the prosecutors are saying. There is a gaping lack of...
Why is Amazon paying me $600 a day? Because I use Amazon AI.
for evidence. They didn't charge racketeering. They charged racketeering conspiracy. They needed a co-conspirator, but they don't have one. They claim KK. The evidence at this trial shows KK is a helpful person.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
Kerry Morgan called KK and D-Rock. They are not co-conspirators. If John Gotti was kicking in your door, would you call Sammy the Bull Gravano? No, he is a co-conspirator. There's only one trial. KK is not a co-conspirator.
Yes, she is. I strongly disagree, Agnifilo. She's absolutely in cahoots with the diddler. That is his Ghislaine. And don't be surprised if we see the next big case is going to be KK, D-Rock, all of them security that assisted him with transporting people across state lines. Absolutely. And I bring you to the R. Kelly case compared to that. You know, he's the only one that really went down. Okay. He got all the charges.
KK is a very nice person.
Oh, the lies. There you go.
The lies.
Y'all paid that lady, didn't you? Baby, KK was looking conniving as a child. I highly doubt she's a nice person now. There is no evidence that anyone is a co-conspirator. The firearms are not charged. Homeland Security cannot say where the guns were. Suge Knight's story, it's not charged. Don Richard, remember her? Miss Westmoreland did the cross, not charged. Yesterday, the government said in the video, you don't see guns, but he probably shouldn't keep videos with guns in them. Is that fair? That's a little sinister. Why are they doing that? And it was Cassie who asked to be urinated on. At some point, you can ask, can I trust the prosecutors? It takes a lot of courage to acquit. I think that the evidence shows. And
the sad part is none of this had to be. Like, Diddy has so much money. Like, why you got GUNs with serial numbers scratched off? It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
You can conclude that the government targeted Sean Combs. I wouldn't say that if Cassie went to Homeland Security. America is great because between each citizen and the government, there is a jury. This is your house, and I'm asking you to summon that courage to do the right thing and acquit Mr. Combs on all charges. He is not a racketeer. He is innocent. Let him go home to his family. Thank you. Judge says, Ms. Comey, would you like a break before rebuttal? Yes, 15 minutes. Okay, and the jury leaves. Ms. Slavic says he brought up conduct that hadn't been charged and said Mr. Combs was being targeted. We request curative instruction. Judge says, Mr. Agnifilo, you should have phrased it differently, but you went to focus on the lack of conspiracy. And what about the targeting charge? How is that not improper? Agnifilo says no one went to law enforcement and complained. It's fair comment. Slavic said he said what he said. Targeted. It's improper. A curative instruction is required. Now it's silence. Slavic said they made the argument pretrial and they lost. This was inappropriate. Judge says, I intend to add something to the charge. They should focus on whether the government proved each charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Slavic said, we'd like it now. Judge says there's a bedrock law that these arguments to the jury are improper, so I'll give the instruction. Agnifilo said, we'd like it Monday. Judge says, I'll do it when the jury comes back. 5 minutes. Okay, it's 3:40 and the jury is finally back. The judge says, you heard that Mr. Combs was targeted. That is not to be considered. That is not your concern. Ms. Comey said the defendant did not take no for an answer. Certainly not from his girlfriends. He beat them. They suggest he didn't pay for SEX, that there was no enterprise, and that the witnesses lied. But he flew the SEX workers across the country to have SEX with Cassie and Jane while he masturbated. It was not for their conversation. It was for SEX. Remember Daniel Phillip? He said that he got paid for SEX. When he had performance issues, he stopped getting paid. The Punisher, $500 with no SEX. Thousands win SEX. I suspect you'll hear that uncalled witnesses were equally available to both sides, and maybe some of these men would have worked for free, having SEX in front of a mass masturbating celebrity, but they got paid. The defendant is guilty of count 3 and 5, and an enterprise can have unlawful and lawful purposes. KK, uncalled witnesses are equally available to both sides. Did they agree to at least 2? Yes. Quick hits. The kidnapping is corroborated by Kid Cudi. He said she was forced to go along with them. Mr. Agnifilo says Mr. Combs is a fist guy. Sure.
Boom. See, the prosecution highlighted, like, where's KK? Why didn't she testify on the defense behalf if she was so good, if she was so innocent? Because she's not. She's hiding. Just like J-Ho is hiding. Just like Stevie. Why you ain't testify for your boy, Stevie? Why you ain't testify for your boy? You was living in the house. You was living in the mansion. You were living it up, freaking off with the diddler. Stevie, where all your friends at, diddler?
Sure, when it comes to his girlfriends, with men, he needs guns. The London hotel, he made Cassie go after he stomped on her face. She wasn't allowed to go home to her mom. This is a kidnapping. The arson,
This brilliant device keeps your home cool in summer, even during heat waves and power outages.
It's smaller than a lunchbox.
Somehow the glove fell off on someone's childlike hand. No, he said he would do it and he did. Cassie said it. Eddie Garcia, he believed he could not go to the police under the agreement. And Combs said, watch out how you spend it. Bribery. This is a guy that can't get his own water bottle or plug in his own phone charger. He's the general. He delegates. KK knew the Wild King nights involved escorts. The only reason he needs thousands of dollars in hotel rooms is to pay escorts. KK read all of Combs' texts, so she knew. KK alone makes Combs guilty of count 1. DRUGS, Mr. Agnifilo talked about conspiracy to distribute, but giving DRUGS to Cassie and Jane is distribution. That is enough. Mr. Agnifilo claims they wanted it. The defense's theory is that Cassie wanted to be urinated on, that Jane wanted to have sex with Anton after being beaten, and Mia wanted to be penetrated, that Cassie and Jane wanted to spend days in oil with UTIs and high heels and strange men. Mia said no. Cassie said no on her 29th birthday. Jane said no before Anton after being beaten. These women, stage whisper, had no reason to lie. The defense said it's for money, but Cassie already got paid. If Cassie were lying and already got paid, why would she take the chance of perjury in a federal trial? This is a woman standing up for what is right. Mia already settled in mediation. There's no reason for her to put on a show for you. And Jane, she doesn't intend to sue. These women refuse to let trauma swallow up their whole lives. That struggle tells you that these women told the truth. They broke free of the defendant's manipulation. Jealousy is not a defense to sex trafficking. Jane picking out Cabral and Anton was her way of taking back some control. Yes, she texted escorts. Sometimes he told her. Sometimes she knew he would ask. She felt she had no choice. That's coercion. The defendant did hit Cassie during freak-offs. Cassie said it. Daniel Phillips told you, and it's on video. The defendant was in a towel. The freak-off was not over. There's no separating the violence and the sex. Even if the victim says yes, the law asks why they said yes. If the consent is obtained through fear, manipulation, power imbalance, incapacitation, which is drugs or alcohol, then the law considers that consent invalid. Remember when Cassie OD'd in the hotel room in Long Island and they still had the freak off? When Jane performed,
Still had the freak off through an OD. Still had the freak off. You trying to tell me she had a choice? Child.
oral sex on Anton after Combs beat her, that was trafficking. Mr. Gnifilo said Cassie won a prize. What prize? Sex with a UTI? Getting urinated in her mouth? It's ridiculous. They had a trauma bond. They were trapped. The cost of trapping was a drop in the bucket for Mr. Number One on the Forbes list. He pushed her to continue until she vomited. He knew she didn't want to. The Intercontinental, they claimed he was intoxicated, that it was about a phone. He knew what he was doing. He kicks her. She calls security, so he stays to keep control of her. Now get this. I want to be clear. They called Anton because he was the only repeat player in LA. They stopped with Cabral after he tried to extort Jane. Whatever words he used about a conspiracy between Jane and Anton, there is no evidence for it. He coerced Cassie and Jane into this, and nothing happened. He RAPED'd Mia, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie in a hotel on tape, then bribed the guards to buy it, and nothing happened. He was untouchable. He did not think that these women would speak, and that Kid Cudi and Deontay Nash and other men would back them up. The defendant is not God. He stands equal before the law. Find him guilty. Judge says, jurors, you may leave until Monday. That was a lot. Now, a lot of people are looking at the defense like you really dropped the ball. I don't know how.
The defense looked like a whole bunch of clowns. It's a whole circus going on over there at the courthouse, okay? Brooklyn, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Diddy! Girl, what's going on? Girl, what's going on? What's going on, Dilla? You're shaking in your boots. You're shaking in your boots. You're going to wish you would have took that deal. Because when the feds offer you a deal, that is the writing on the wall saying that we got your ass. And if you don't take this deal, we going to smoke you. Okay, so as you can see, the prosecution did a very good job of turning that whole show, that circus that Agnifilo did, that whole performance that he did, they turned it all the way around. The prosecution definitely has evidence. I definitely feel like they have a strong case. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm gonna drop the link just in case any of y'all want to come up and sound off. I want to hear what y'all think. I invite you all to come up. Do y'all feel like the diddler is going to be found guilty? Or do you feel like he's going to walk? All right. And I only want to deal with the facts. Okay. I'm not that fake news that TMZ try to put out, talk about the charges were dropped and all this bull swinky going on. But the diddler, he going to get what he want this time for sure. Okay.
Comes out. If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. I love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Wherever I want to put you get! Wherever I want, I have to get! Yes! What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down. I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything. You think I could book that?
Okay, I'll tell you what's next, Diddler. In the words of Voodoo Doll, prison. Yes, baby, prison.
The weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. I love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. I'm a savage! Oh! I'm
your lubrication together because you're going to be bending over, bitch. Don't drop the soap, diddler. Don't drop the soap. They got him. Yes. And this is for all the careers he stole through the years. Diddy is not no rapper. Notice he never could do an album on his own. Y'all tell me when Diddy ever did a solo album on his own without a whole bunch of guests and other rappers. He's not real. I heard Christian Combs dropped his corny ass song today. Let me just see if I can find it. Thumbs up this video. Your son's corny just like you. Your sons are punks just like you. Yes, just like you, sir. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got him. Yes, they got him. Y'all heard Christian new song? Let me see if I can find it. Or yeah, Christian Combs new song. They say he got a song called Free Diddy. All right, here we go. Let me see. All right. They're going to strike me for this. But hey D Smith, hey boo. I forgot to say hi, sorry. Yeah, all his albums with compilations. He is not no rapper. Embarrassing behavior, trash. The whole album, trash, trash. The whole family, trash. They trash. That's why his daughters was crying leaving the courthouse because they know he did it. You know why they crying? Because they think he did something to their mama. The girls just showed up for closing arguments. They haven't been there the whole trial. They showed up the first day and then Let me listen to this. Hold on. Mind you, this was produced by Kanye. Fuck you. That is trash. That's all I got. That's all I can stomach. It's trash. Oh, now they want to play victim. We want to see if you saying that when you sitting in the same seat as your father. Quincy is having second thoughts about Diddy. I think so. I think he been had second thoughts. But his father's still trash. I'll be sure it's still trash. I don't care what nobody say. But on the heels of all of this, y'all, more lawsuits are dropping. Whether we can believe them or not, I don't know. Like, you just don't know. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for this one. Diddy sued by a man alleging he was sodomized and about to get that Diddy love. Ciao. Thumbs up the video. Thumbs up the video. I wonder who the lawyer is. Yeah, then Diddy and his son Justin Combs hit with lawsuit by woman who claims she was brutally gang raped. Ciao. This is just crazy. So Monday, we will be getting the jury instructions. The judge will be giving the jury their instructions, and then we will begin deliberations. Now, the trial ended sooner than we thought because the defense just did not have any witnesses. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you, diddler. Only your whoremonger mama. That's the only one who cares. That is the only one who cares. Other than that, I really feel like Diddy is guilty. I really, in my heart of hearts, feels like he's guilty. Oh God. And trust me, I've been keeping up. Tyler Perry, he got a new lawsuit. See, Christian Keys, if you would have did your job instead of taking the payoff, because he out here complaining. He out here complaining about all the Queen's men. We're gonna hear what he have to say. But for the most part, I want to know what you guys think about the prosecution in the case. I really feel like they have a case, a strong case, and we'll see. You just never know with juries.
Continuously find out that your show is coming back on the internet instead of finding out from the network. And I've mentioned that in previous seasons, and it's still happening. Or to see the trailer online and have to go search for the trailer so I can try to download the trailer for the hit show that I created for this studio and this network, instead of getting it sent when everybody else is getting theirs. It does feel dismissive and disrespectful when it continues to happen and you've addressed it and it still happens. So at this point, I do not believe that the prequel series that I've written and the spinoff show, any prequel or sequels, I do not believe I'll be doing them with BET. I'm speaking with some amazing people that are interested, other streamers. So the All the Queen's Men universe will continue to thrive. I'm just not sure where it's going to be. It's not up to the studio. It's not up to the network. It's up to me, thankfully. So I will let you guys know where it's going to end up. Whether you noticed or not, season 2, my created by credit was removed, and I asked to get it back, and they said no. And I ended up having to call the WGA, call the union to force the studio to give me my credit back that I had earned. I created this 15 years ago, and I've been working on it for 15 years. I think God gave it to me because he knew I was going to protect it, and I will. But some things, these things got to change. So I'll figure out where it's going to be.
Maybe they would have changed if you would have stood on business and reported who was SAing you. But another clear man decided to stand on business and sue his ass anyway. So that's why they taking your show through the ringer. I mean, Christian Keys, you should have never took the money.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
He absolutely played himself, and I don't care. I don't care. All right, I got a guess. I'm gonna add Dustin to the stage. Dustin, welcome. What are your thoughts on the Diddy trial?
I think it's pretty much over with, in my opinion. I think he's officially going to be guilty, and I think that he deserves all the time he gets in the jailhouse, prison.
Absolutely. I think the prosecution did a very good job of proving their case, of gathering witnesses, and they didn't even need Gina Hahn. But we know Gina going to do the bid with the diddler. She's so stupid.
Yes. but I want to say that I'm glad I can say that he's officially going to be sentenced and he's going to be in jail for a long time, because I think that this is going to let the people start to heal. I know I'm going to start to heal after this 8 weeks is over with. And
Yeah, it was traumatizing.
Yes, it was very traumatizing for me. So I hate to say how traumatizing it would be for the people that was involved in this. And I think that the people can start to heal now and move forward.
The world is going to definitely be a safer place with him off the streets. That's for sure. He's terrorized these streets since the 90s.
Yes. I agree.
Stealing people's careers, threatening people, putting hands on people. The list goes on. And the way he exploited these women, it's just downright disgusting, vile.
It's very sad, in my opinion.
I really feel like he's right where he needs to be at the end of the day.
Any idea, Naughty, when the sentencing will be?
So on Monday, the judge is going to read the jury instructions, which is going to take a couple of hours. Then the jury is going to deliberate. So that's what it like. We need to see how long the jury deliberates. I know in the R. Kelly trial, I think it took them like a week to deliberate. But with this, you just never know with juries. It's up in the air. So, once we get a verdict, that's when they'll start talking about the sentencing guidelines and things like that.
Right.
So I would think I'm gonna gauge it. I would say at least I'm thinking the verdict will be back by the second week of July.
So you think it's gonna wait? It's gonna take that long, huh?
I don't think it's gonna take that long because I really, really feel like it's a clear and cut case. Like
Right.
the prosecution did a very good job of showing examples of where the trafficking took place, where the coercion took place, and then also showing example of the predicate acts like the arson, the kidnapping, the drugs, transporting. I think they did a very good job. That's why it pissed me off when TMZ came out talking about charges were dropped. Diddy wasn't charged with arson. Diddy wasn't charged with kidnapping. Those
Right.
are predicate acts to the racketeering and the RICO. Let's
Mhm.
be clear.
And I like to say one more thing. I would like to say a few more things, not if I could.
Go ahead.
I think that this RICO thing. I think that this RICO thing has been proven from day one, from week one, and from day one. I know there's a lot of people that don't think that he did RICO, but I think he did part of it, and I think he did RICO. So I think he deserves every time he gets in prison. I know there's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me, but this is just my opinion. I think that he definitely did part of the RICO, and I think that he deserves every time he gets.
Exactly. I think so too, Dustin. I really believe in my heart of hearts. Like I wish I was on the jury so I could sign, seal,
I
and
wish I was there. I wish I was there I wish I was there so I could make the final decision because I would if it was me, I was sitting on that, I was sitting on that jury, and I was looking at this case, and I was sitting here helping them decide the case. I would put him in prison and throw away the key.
Exactly. When I went to trial, it was so much fun. The energy outside of the courthouse was indifferent. There was definitely it drew in a lot of clout chasers this trial. A lot of
Right.
clout chasers people that don't really care about Diddy. They just want the clicks and the views or
That's
whatever.
right.
But nah, I went for my own personal reasons because this is my era. This is where I watched him rise to fame. You know what I mean? And I remember all the whispers and the rumors. I remember when he was on the radio with the locks going back and forth. Diddy is
Right.
an old punk. He don't have the same energy that he had for women with men.
Mm-mm.
He don't.
Nope.
Like the prosecution said, like he put hands on women, but when it come to men, he want to bring a GUNS.
Right. Right.
He's a whole coward, and that's what people are seeing right now. We getting the real him.
And I
Because
think, and I want to and I want to thank you for being so dedicated to this case and covering this case like you have been. Because if it wasn't for you, Naughty Love, and if it wasn't for the other people that I follow, we wouldn't have any of this information. So I want to thank all the YouTubers, including Naughty Love, for
thank
putting the
you.
work for putting in the work and covering this case. And I hope you continue covering this until the very end.
I absolutely will. And let me shout out. There's a few YouTubers, they've been doing a thing covering the story. Shout out to Mims. Shout out to Tisa Tell. She's been on it from the very beginning. She's the one that put out the news that a grand jury was convened coming together to indict Diddy. Shout out to BJ Investigates. She has been keeping me abreast. That's who I watched every day, guys, to keep up on the trial because BJ, she's very straightforward, to the point, and straight shooter. I love her.
I want to shout out. I want to shout out the of course Naughty 11 Pascal show. He's been covering this case from day one, and I appreciate it very much.
Yes. Shout out to AT2. Shout out to all the YouTubers that girl Henny, she covered it. And shout out to Simone, girl that's legal. She's also been covering the case. And everybody's just been doing a good. Let me tell you something, guys. this was draining. Taking in
Most,
all this
it
information.
was mostly draining for me, but I put myself through it anyway because I was interested.
Yeah, it was definitely, this was like better than like the movies, anything going on TV. I can't wait till the movie comes out about this. Okay, it's gonna be good. I mean, there's a movie on Tasha K's app that they did. It was okay. It was weird.
I can't wait to see the movie comes out about this.
I can't wait to see this is going straight to film once this case is over.
Yes. I don't care where it's at on. I don't care where it's at. I'm going to watch it.
Exactly. But I always felt like Dustin, I'm sorry. I always felt like the defense case was always weak to me. And that wasn't me being impartial. I just, the only thing they can do is try to catch people in lies and stuff like that. But like when you got people dealing with DRUGSs and stuff like that, like memories fade over time or whatever. And I mean, name me one person that does not lie out here. Y'all tell me.
There's a lot of people that lie out here. Mm-hmm.
I heard 50 is waiting for the trial to be over to drop his documentary on Netflix. And I'm here for it. I cannot wait because I know 50 got some tricks up his sleeves. He been wanting to get at the deadlift for a minute. He's been trolling him for years.
I don't blame him though, because I want to see it though. I want to see it.
Exactly.
I want to see what comes out. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think the prosecution ended their case on a strong, good note. The jury's gonna, I felt like the prosecution dealt with fact and the defense just created a storyline, basically, so
Right.
all right, Dustin, do you have any other closing thoughts outside of this? I mean, and shout out to the victims for having the courage to come forward and face this monster in the courthouse. That was not an easy thing to do. Bono, she got hung over a balcony. Cassie's ex-friend Carrie, who he put hands on her. Shout out to Mia. All right. Shout out to all the victims that were brave enough to come forward. And I just really hopes this helps victims going forward. If you are wronged, go to law enforcement, report it, document it. Don't be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, and I hope, like I said, I hope everybody can start to heal and move on.
Exactly.
Move forward, because I know it's going to be a hard process. Because I know that it's not going to be an easy process because it takes time to heal. But like I said, we can continue to heal and move on.
Right. Exactly. All right, Dustin, thank you so much for coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and close the show because I need to get out of here.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll bring you updates. We'll be live if God forbid I have internet. We'll be live on Monday, in the evening after the judge gives the juries their instructions. But I believe
you having trouble with your internet lately or something?
Yeah, all week I had to go like in the office a few times this week because I didn't have internet. It kept being outages in my area.
How's the heat where you're at? Is it hot there?
Not anymore. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were triple digits, and now today is 70.
Well, it's hot here. Like it's 90, like 96 here.
Where you at?
I'm in Illinois.
Oh yeah, no, we've been cloudy all day, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna complain. The breeze feels good. Okay, and trust me, I'm a summer girl. I love the heat. But
where you at, Naughty Little?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah, so it's just a relief. I'm happy. All right, Dustin, you have a good weekend.
Thank you for having me on as always, and I'll be here on Monday. If you drop the link on Monday, I'll be here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Dustin, thank you so much for coming up. You guys, I really feel good about this, and I really feel like they got him at this point. But I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Shout out to all the graduates out there. Shout out to my great nephew, Dylan. I love you to death. He graduated and now is going to college to be a forensic accountant. So I'm really, really proud of him. Yeah, it's been a time. It's been a time. And you guys, please make sure you follow me on Instagram. Let me pull up my page for you guys. Follow me on all the free apps. We're on Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we on it. There's a lot of footage from me being on vacation. I had a great time. Great time. Summer is starting out great and strong. But yeah, that's why I vlog a lot of my life over there. Let me see. Let me check your comments. Thank you so much, James. I missed y'all. I definitely do. Don't think I ain't been keeping up. Like DDG and Holly, y'all need to go sit down. I'm about sick of y'all. Krishan Rock crashing out. Don't care, girl. You are not relevant. You need to go sit down and take care of your baby. Just like I'm glad Auntie Tia drag your ass. And Krishan, you can't fight everybody. You can't fight the world. And everybody, every bully meets they maker one day. So go sit down and be a fucking mother. All right, you guys. I love you all. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed weekend. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.